We have some major news right now. Mike Johnson and House Republicans are in a complete panic because they could lose the majority before the 2026 midterm elections. Mike Johnson can lose the speaker's gavel and the speaker's chair in a matter of months, according to explosive new reporting from Jake Sherman at Punchbowl News. Essentially, with all of these retirements happening, Marjorie Taylor Greene's shock retirement, we had other retirements like Mark Green, a congressman, retire earlier this year. The Republican majority is actively shrinking. Now, they still have the majority and they still will have the majority if things remain as is. But the status quo is about to be disrupted because, according to new reporting, there is expected to be explosive retirements that could cost Mike Johnson the gavel and House Republicans the majority before even the 2026 midterm elections. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work, but also to spread this everywhere because people need to know what's on the line right now. So let's go through what Jake Sherman, who is very in touch with what's happening on Capitol Hill, what he's saying this morning. A few other Republican members messaged us over the weekend saying they too are considering retiring in the middle of the term. Here's one particularly exercised senior House Republican. This is from a congressman, not a staffer or a source. This is a Republican member of Congress. Quote, "This entire White House team has treated all members like garbage, all. And Mike Johnson has let it happen because he wanted it to happen. This is the sentiment of nearly all appropriators, authorizers, hawks, doves, rank and file. The arrogance of this White House team is off-putting to members who are run roughshod and threatened. They don't even allow little wins like announcing small grants or even responding from agencies. Not even the high profile, the regular rank and file random members are more upset than ever. Members know they are going into the minority after the midterms. More explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel and they will lose the majority before this term is out." That would be a stunning development because we have not seen at least in my lifetime, a situation where the House Speaker loses the gavel in the middle of a House term because there is this revolt within his own caucus. And here, that is exactly what is happening. We're about to see, according to Jake Sherman's reporting, explosive early resignations that could strip Mike Johnson of his gavel, that will force Republicans to lose the House majority before the 2026 midterm elections. And even then, assuming that the House majority is not stripped from Republicans before then, all signs point to essentially Republicans losing big in the midterms anyway, given the current polling, given the current sentiment around the Trump administration and its policies. And so we're now shaping up to have a situation where Democrats could retain the majority even before the midterm elections. Now, what would happen if that were the case? If that were the case, you would have essentially a new vote to be speaker. And right now, the Democratic leader in the House of Representatives is Hakeem Jeffries. He would likely get the nod to be the Speaker of the House, at least through the midterm elections. And then afterwards, it's anyone's guess who would be Speaker, depending on how Democrats perform and the new Democrats that come in who would vote for the gavel. Obviously, it would likely be Jeffries just because he's kind of in the pole position, being that he's the leader, but anything's possible. And there are actually several candidates running in Democratic primaries who say they would not support Jeffries for Speaker if they were to win. So we'll see what happens there, but that's a ways away. But let's go through essentially what we're seeing over the next between now and April 16th, which is actually my birthday. So that's funny enough. So according to Lisa Desjardins, right now the majority is 219 Republicans, 213 Democrats. It's essentially a very slim majority, right? Because if all Democrats vote yes and Republicans lose just 3 votes, any bill will be killed. So right now they could only afford to lose 2 votes to keep legislation moving. In 2 weeks, there is a critical election, special election in Tennessee. Democrats are overperforming in special elections across the country. It would be a shock if Democrats won the special election because it's a Trump plus, I believe, 20 or 22 district. But it's not implausible given how Democrats have been performing. If Democrats win, they'll pick up a seat. Then the Republican majority gets shrunk even more. Once Marjorie Taylor Greene leaves, That'll get to 218 to 214. That's on January 6th, one day after the congressional pension vests. So on January 6th, Marjorie Taylor Greene will leave. And once that happens, the Republican majority gets to one vote. Because while it's 218 to 214, if they lose 2 votes and all Democrats vote in tandem, 216, 216, that's a tie, the vote fails. Then January 31st, there will be a Texas special election. Democrats are certain to win that because you have 2 Democrats in the top 2 in the runoff. So you're going to have a Democrat pick up that seat, which is the late Sylvester Turner seat, the late Sheila Jackson Lee seat, 215. There'll be a special election in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district in Georgia in March. That's almost certainly going to be a Republican-held seat. This is a district that voted for Republicans by 30 plus points. Marjorie Taylor Greene won it, I believe, by like 40 or 50 points. I mean, it's not a close race. Don't expect Democrats to win. I'm just being realistic there. Then April 16th, there is a special election to replace Mikey Sherrill, the current governor-elect of New Jersey. That's scheduled. That's estimated to be a Democrat win there, 219 to 216. That's a 1-vote margin. Because if Republicans lose 2 votes, they go down to 217. Democrats go up to 218. But if we have more, quote, explosive resignations in the meantime, then this number could definitely change. And if you just have 2 more Republicans resign between now and, say, March, Democrats will retain the gavel. I mean, you could theoretically have a situation here where Jeffries becomes speaker for a month and Johnson becomes speaker as these special elections happen, if you have these more and more resignations occur. Now, obviously, there's a lot of ifs here, a lot of potential. We don't know whether it will actually happen. We don't know which senior Republicans Jake Sherman is talking to here, what explosive resignations are coming. We don't know any of that. But what we do know is that right now you have a Republican caucus in the House of Representatives that really is in chaos because they were not expecting Marjorie Taylor Greene to resign. She didn't tell them she was going to resign. She just did it. And now they're trying to scramble to figure out, well, what the hell do we do now? And we could see more early resignations coming soon. This is something that I've actually been trying to talk about for a while, is that how the numbers are so tight that effectively no legislation can get passed in the next year until the next election. You're not going to have much legislation passed. But not just that, Democrats have a real opportunity to potentially take the speaker's gavel before the November midterms even happen, and especially after the midterms, because all signs point to them winning. But before, which would be honestly, a stunning fall from grace for Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. So we're going to see what happens next. I will continue to provide you updates as always. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Spread the word, and I will see you soon for another update. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.